Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first podcast called
Sit and knit for a bit with Arne and Carlos.
Yes, and we are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos.
Yeah, and this is like a podcast on Wednesdays, so this won't be a tutorial.
No, not at all.
The tutorials are on Sunday.
Yes.
So now we're just going to talk about what happened.
Stuff, yeah.
Stuff.
So anyway, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about this new podcast idea. So Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos, the podcast, is a continuation of the original quarantine knitting podcast that we did back in March and April.
Yeah.
Yes?
But now it's not because we have to be at home, it's because we want to be at home.
Well, yeah. So
Actually, we can't go abroad, so we are actually staying at home and exploring Norway.
Yeah.
And see how long that works.
well, we did for a while, but now we've exiled ourselves into our home and our beautiful garden, and we're not going out as much as we did in June, for example. We'll tell you a little bit about that. But yes, absolutely. This podcast the idea is that every Wednesday we will sit down and recap whatever it is that is on our minds. And we'll continue doing squares as long as we have ideas for squares. And it is a direct continuation of the quarantine podcast, but in a new shape.
Yes.
That's why we're not calling it a quarantine podcast anymore. It's Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos. However, we want to emphasize there's an undertitle as well. And what does the undertitle say,
it says
Arne?
you can also crochet or do embroidery, or you can do
Wood carving,
or wood carving, or
or
whatever.
dyeing of yarn,
You can
or
do what you
nothing.
want.
So the idea is that we want to connect with you. We want to connect the same way that we were connecting during lockdown. And we want to keep going, keep building up this fun project and share with you our ideas, our thoughts, and our stories.
Yeah, and as you see, this time we're not in front of the computer in the house because
No.
Eric gave us this camera, so now we can walk around and we can do the podcast
Yeah.
from anywhere in the house or in the garden.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest difference between our weekly podcast on Wednesdays and our usual tutorials on Sundays. The biggest difference is that we're recording this ourselves, dogma style. We've discussed dogma style in a Sunday tutorial recently. It means that everything is done by ourselves with a lot of written rules about what you can and cannot do. It's kind of like dogma style because we're doing
Like
it.
if you do the mistake or you do the strange thing, you know it's dogma.
Yeah, so you keep
Kind
it.
of.
And speaking of dogma, a lot of people, or there were several people that suggested other words for the style that we're doing,
What's
like
that?
documentary style, or I don't remember the other ones, but I realized that dogma is Danish. Dogma comes from a Danish movement in cinema back in the 90s. It's all about having no script, no plan.
We don't have that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're dogma style. And because Denmark is part of Scandinavia, Norway is part of Scandinavia, I think we want to stick with the dogma style.
Yeah.
The
So if something
description.
goes really bad,
It's dogma style.
it's dogma style.
Yeah. And
If I say something stupid or you say something
Whoa.
stupid, we have to live with it
I've
because it's dogma.
yeah, and I've been known to say lots of stupid things.
No, you're not.
apparently.
I'm the horrible one.
No, you're not.
I say a lot of stupid things.
Anyway, it is exciting to be back. And as we were saying, we're in exile in our garden here in Norway, not going out very much. You can see our garden behind us, or part of it. There's been some huge developments since we had a tour. I think that the last tour must have been last summer.
I think it was last summer, and we're going to do a new tour, but with Eric,
Yes.
not with us.
It's better to have Eric do the tour, and maybe he can shoot up a drone and do some drone images from above as well. Could be really cool.
And today has been so warm and so sunny, so we've been waiting and waiting for the sun to set, and finally the sun went down the woods on the other side of the lake, so we could do the video.
Yeah, it's about...
What time is it?
It's 8:20 in the evening on a beautiful late summer's day here in Norway.
And it's been 29 degrees in the shadow, or
Yeah,
30.
29, 30, and more in the sun. I would say that in Fahrenheit it's about 85, 90 degrees here right now.
Yeah. So it's been warm.
Which is very warm.
That's why we are like
Like
burned.
lobsters, yeah.
boiled.
So we're not really sure of the format of this podcast right now. So far, it's sit and knit for a bit with Arne and Carlos. We're going to be sitting here half an hour. You guys can knit as much as you want. We're going to have a chat. But we hope to get a lot of comments.
Yeah.
We hope to get a lot of feedback. There is a comments field here below if you're watching this from our YouTube channel. If you're watching this from our website or from our blog, you will need to go to YouTube in order to comment. That's the only place where you can do it. We'd love you to comment our video and tell us what you would like us to discuss during these half-an-hour sessions that we'll be doing weekly.
Or maybe you have questions, then we can answer questions. And we can talk about, if you have one question, we can talk about the question for like half an hour.
Oh yeah. What we don't want is to do tutorials on Wednesdays. So there's not going to be tutorials in the sense of how-tos. We're not going to do how to knit the Norwegian way, how to purl the Italian way.
That's on Sunday.
That's on Sundays, yeah. So on our weekly podcast, for example, we could talk about design and inspiration and how we work. That could be a theme. Would you like to hear about that? Put it in the comments field, and we'll look every week and see what interesting topics we could talk about for half an hour.
And we can tell, like today we brought some of the pieces we've been knitting on this summer. So
Yeah.
we can also show you what we're working on, and maybe you will tell us what you're working on.
Yeah, that would be lovely. If you comment what you're working on, and then we can compare and see, what are people needing right now, and we'll show you
No,
what.
we're not comparing.
No, what I mean is, what are people knitting right now, and then what are we knitting right now?
Yeah.
So we'll compare not the projects, but the kind of projects, whether we're doing sock knitting, or hat knitting, or glove knitting, or whatever.
Like that's like what's in and what's out at the moment.
Yeah,
If everybody do socks, we know, socks is
the
hot
in and the
thing
out
right
list,
now.
hot or not.
Hot or not.
Yeah. Anyway, before we show you the knitting that we've been doing lately, and before we start talking again about the squares, resuming this project, I'm sure people want to have a little recap
Yeah.
about what's been going on here this summer. So, as we said, huge changes in the garden, because obviously we've had all the time in the world to do gardening.
Yeah, and we had made like a new lawn. Is that
Lawn.
lawn?
Grass.
Grass. Plant in Norwegian. Because we are finishing the studio on the outside, and we had to, and also the first kind of the ground floor inside with cement.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cement.
Cement in English? Yeah. Okay. And then we had to dig up the garden. And we did that just before we left for America
Last year.
in 2019.
Yeah.
And it looked so bad when the spring came. So
yeah.
we had to make the lawn.
Yeah, we had the whole garden in front of the greenhouse dug up. Went to America, came back in December. This was done in September last year. Came back in December. The whole garden was covered with snow. And it wasn't until May or end of April that we realized that the whole part of the garden in front of the greenhouse looked like a war zone. We had completely forgotten about this. And then we had to find a solution. You'll see more about this with a video with Eric.
And I was so against, I didn't want to have grass in the garden because I don't like going around with that thing.
The grass mower, the lawn mower.
Yeah. But you were more into grass, and then I said, okay, let's have grass. But you know why? Because you promised me we should have that.
Well, Rob. We have a gardener now.
We have a gardener.
And his name's Rob. Maybe we'll introduce you to Rob during the
we should do a video
during the video that we'll do with Eric. Rob is a fantastic gardener, and he's a robot.
You shouldn't say that so early.
Oh well, I spoiled it. The problem is it's dogma style, so we can't take it away now. because we're doing this
we have
uncut.
Eric for the filming, and we have Rob for the gardening.
Yeah.
It seems like we're like so posh.
Yeah, so Rob is going to be cutting our grass. He cuts the grass every day between I think it's 10 and 1, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. He's doing his little rounds.
He's so good.
And he's good, yeah. And we call him Rob, short for Robbie or Robot.
And he's so quiet. I like it because he's quiet.
Yeah.
If we had one of those other ones with the gasoline,
Oh,
it makes a
God,
lot of
yeah.
noise. That is not nice. It's like it destroys the calm atmosphere,
Yeah.
the zen thing in
Yeah.
the garden. We need to have
yeah, I
something
know.
that is quiet. And Rob is so quiet.
Anyway, I'm sorry I spoiled the surprise. This is Dogma style. We're not pausing the camera. We're not editing anything out. This is ARNE and Carlos uncut.
Yeah, because I was ready now to paint pictures in people's head that we had like a handy hunk walking around in the garden cutting.
Oh yeah, in his bare without a t-shirt.
like with a little scissor.
Yeah, no.
No.
Rob is actually quite short and flat. And he runs on 3 wheels.
Short, flat, and on 3 wheels.
Not fat, flat.
Flat.
He's flat.
He's flat.
He's looks like a pancake.
I said flat
Oh, okay, yeah.
and on 3 wheels.
Yeah.
And he just said,
Yeah. Anyway, we'll introduce you to Rob when we do our update of the garden. Another thing that was fun was that we did the trip to Lofoten this year in the summer. And the funniest thing is that people don't actually realize that we have to pre-record things because of all the post-production and editing and everything. So while we were in Lofoten in June, but we didn't publish the videos until August. So we've been around in August here in our home, and everybody has been like, "Oh, you're in Lofoten." Like we went to the supermarket, and people are like, "What? What are you doing here?"
you're in Lofoten.
Like you're supposed to be in Lofoten, the cash lady, the one that takes the
You know how
scans.
expensive that would have been if we went to Lofoten and stayed there for a month? That's expensive.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people thinking that.
But if people think we are in Lofoten, then they also had to understand that we have to pay for a hotel, or we don't have a house in Lofoten.
No, we don't have a house in Lofoten. We stayed in different hotels, and we spent June in Lofoten, parts of June.
And we're going back.
Oh yeah,
It's
of course.
so beautiful.
We've been there many, many times, and we will return. Anyway, Lofoten was in June, and we were very comfortable traveling in June because Norway was closed at the time. So people from other countries couldn't come in and bring the virus with them. And in Norway, it has been pretty much under control. Now, on the other hand, when Norway opened their borders to Europe on July 15th, and after that, the coronavirus has been going up. And it is a little bit more worrisome. And what people don't know, which I might as well tell everybody, is that I'm now working 20% only. I'm not full-time because I'm still ill. And my lung function is about 25% reduced capacity. So my lungs only take in about 75% of what they should be doing of work. And so even if I may be immune to the virus right now, the moment I'm not immune anymore, I am in the high-risk group because
so
my
we're not
lungs...
taking any risks.
No risks, because my lungs are not working properly anymore, or for the time being. And the doctors do think that I might be cured 100%. It just will take longer. And now I don't want to risk it. When we were in Lofoten in June, coronavirus was under control in Norway. There were around 8,000 cases in our entire country. But now the cases keep going up and up because of the fact that borders have been opened. And we really don't feel as safe anymore as we used to be in June, back in May and June when Norway was closed. So anyway, that's the recap, the corona recap. How have you been feeling, Arne?
I feel like I'm...
After corona and everything.
I feel like I'm older because I'm getting tired quicker than I was before, so everything is a little bit slower. But that can also be that we're not having this schedule that we had before. Like we don't have to go on like travel.
Yeah.
And that maybe we relax more than we did before because we think we have all the time in the world
to work.
So we kind of take it a little bit too slow. So maybe, but I'm going to check myself, see
Yeah.
if I'm fine.
And also, last time we talked about the virus, you had tested negative when I had tested positive. Can you give our viewers a development on that?
Yeah, because I had to take the blood test
Afterwards, yeah.
afterwards, and then I got the message that I also had it. So the coughing I had in April, was it?
Yeah.
Wasn't a cold, like I thought it was a cold,
Hmm.
but it was actually corona. So I probably gave it to you.
Yeah, they're more than likely Arne infected me. And more than likely he got it first. It has been proven that he has antibodies in his body for corona, and we are immune for a time.
So
I don't
please
know
be
how long.
careful, because this is scary, because I thought I had a cold and you were almost dying.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people might have it, or they could have had it without actually knowing, because maybe you think you have a cold. So
Yeah.
it's scary, and what's scary is also that you don't know the after.
Yeah, the long-term effects.
Long-term effects.
And now, 5 months after we had the virus, the result is that my lung capacity is reduced to 75%. I'm still struggling with post-viral syndrome. I'm only working 20%, and I have sick leave 80%. And for Arne, as you were saying, you're feeling tired and older than you were. But more than likely, we will recuperate at some point. We just have to give it time. And what a better place to recuperate than in this beautiful garden, don't you agree?
And we managed to finish our big projects this summer.
Yes, so let's get into
Because
that.
we're not that sick. Oh, you were, but we're back.
Yeah.
Like, kind of.
So people are going to be very curious to know, what have we been knitting on this summer? And we'd love you guys to tell us as well. So please tell us what project you've been doing this summer, and put that in the comments field. We've been working on the same project for the whole summer. And I think that because they're ready now and you're so proud of your work, Arne,
But
I think we should show
you did
everybody.
a little bit also.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Not much, but
Not as much
because-
as you, but I did do work on them.
But luckily we have the same tension.
Yes.
So it's okay. No one will see the difference anyway. And
Anyway, thanks so much for helping me finish mine.
you're welcome.
Yes.
And it's like you were
I did some.
you were sick.
Yeah, I was
So
sick.
I had to do something. I did jigsaw puzzle, and I was working on the socks
Yes.
for the folk costume.
And now we have each one, so we
They're
have to.
like over. They're going
Oops.
over the knee.
Yeah, you have
And
to hold.
it's like cable and like diamonds.
Yeah, we have to hold up for all 4 of them. Look at this. Look at
They're
this.
finished. We're ready for
Yay.
17th of May. Or
Well, not really.
Christmas.
At least we have the bottom of our folk costume ready. If we say that we're ready for 17th of May and we only have this to wear, I think that it's going to put a lot of images in
in
people's
people's
heads that we don't want
But
them
this is
to see.
the socks is part 1 of the
Yeah.
project, and then when now this is finished, we just have to wash them, and then I really want to finish like 100%.
Yes.
So I want to wash them, dry them, and put them in a nice box, and then we can start doing
The garter bands.
garter bands, because you have to have garter bands around your leg, like under the knee.
Yeah, because this goes above the knee.
And then you put the garter
Yeah, you
band.
tie the garter band around the knee.
And that's a technique we never tried before.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So,
So that's like the next project.
yeah.
That's part 2 of the folk costume.
So next step now is we have this lovely liquid detergent or soap for wool, and we're gonna hand wash our socks. Just pretty much. I learned this when we were in Lofoten. Right? Am I
Yeah.
right? You dip them like this
And squeeze.
and squeeze and dip, and then they're gonna be lovely, soft, and white.
And we're not
and-
steaming them or
No,
using
there's no
iron.
blocking, no blocking involved.
Because we like to have, like if there's a cable, you want to see the cable. So we're not going to flatten them
No, no,
out.
no.
We just wash them, and when you put them on, you keep the nice structure
Yeah.
in the cable.
And this wasn't our pattern. This is the pattern for the stockings that
This
is
is a
traditional for the Gudbrandsdalen folk costume for men. So we had to follow a pattern exactly. And we We did it, I mean, we really worked to get it exactly as the pattern, the gauge, of course, and then, of course, our size that we needed to knit. So they are actually, you know, if you follow a pattern and you use and you make a gauge swatch, this is going to be the tip of this week. If you make a gauge swatch to make sure the tension is what it's supposed to be, when you knit this, it's going to be knitted to your size. So you don't need to block it because it's going to be a perfect fit.
And you also have to use your, like, you have to think when you do these, because if you have longer legs, you just add some extra cable, and also on the foot you just add some extra. So it's just try it on, or try it on the person you knit it for.
So we do not need to block these to a certain size. They are already what they're supposed to be
in the pattern.
So we'll be doing this in the water, and then we will leave them to dry flat on a towel on a table or something. So they have to lie.
I put them on the rack.
Oh, you mean on the hanging rack? Yeah.
Just on top of the rack.
Yeah, exactly. But they need to lie like this, so that they don't get weighed down and get bigger.
So they don't.
Yeah. So they're gonna hang like this.
Although it doesn't matter if they stretch, because these are going all the way over the knees. So if they're longer, it's no problem.
Yeah, and then we're gonna store them, because you know how it is here. I mean, we're living with a shopaholic. So tell them about that.
Who's that?
Oh yeah. Oh, that one.
No, because like when you have this folk costume stuff, you need to have this. You don't need to have it, but it's
You don't
like,
need it.
It's like nice to have these nice boxes where you put your socks, your garter
bands,
your jewelry,
or garters, probably just
all the extras for the folk costume. And if you go to the arts and crafts shop, you can buy these wooden boxes, and they're very expensive.
Extremely expensive.
I did a really good deal. I won this bidding. Actually, I was the only one who bid for them.
Yeah, in an internet auction.
Yeah, so I got 2 boxes for fall costume stuff, and like really nice boxes, and then a little casket or coffin casket.
Yeah, a little box.
Yeah, for my
a little chest.
A chest for my cufflinks. My cufflink collection goes in that one.
So I have to say,
it cost nothing.
Yeah,
I did a good deal, and I was the only one who bid. I won.
Okay, so I have a few comments here. The first comment is that the English language is rich. It's so full of words for so many things, and sometimes we have to look for the word, because in Norway, the word for coffin and the word for trunk is the exact same word. It's kiste. And you lie in one of them if you're dead, but you can also store your things in it.
It's like a cloth.
Yeah, but it's a kiste.
Yeah.
And it really depends on the sentence. We will know what we're talking about. And then with English, you have so many words. It's like adjectives and more adjectives, and you have so many words to describe so many different things. So it's very different. So sometimes we say the wrong word because maybe in Norway it's the same word for many different things.
That's really confusing sometimes, because some of the, like for English Norwegian, a lot of English words are so close to Norwegian that sometimes you think that you don't know the word. Because it's like Norwegian, but it's also English.
Yeah. So today's Norwegian word is kiste.
That's a good idea. You have one, or you have a mosquito.
Oh, whoops.
We can have like one Norwegian word every time if we remember.
Yeah. So and you know, we're working on this format. It's still the beginning, the early stages of our podcast. So we are open to anything. So the word of the day is kiste. Kiste is spelled Kiste. The K is together with an I is pronounced a sh sound. If it would have been together with an O or an A, it would have been a K sound. But because it's with an I, it's a sh sound. So kiste.
How can you come up with these things? I don't even think about it.
Well, I'm very interested in languages. Okay. Anyway, kiste in Norwegian is the same word as coffin or trunk in English. But we didn't get a coffin for our socks. We got a trunk for them. A little, actually, trunk, coffin, or box.
Isn't the trunk also...
Or chest. It's all these...
Is that the same? It's chest?
Yeah, it's a little chest.
But isn't the coffin... No, a trunk... like in the back of the car?
Yeah, yeah.
Because in the south of Norway,
Well, that's the boot if you're in the UK, I guess.
okay,
the
because
trunk.
in the south, I read a book about girls from the south of Norway. They went to America, to New York, and there's like this link to America. And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A place in the south of Norway that in their dialect they use English words. So if they talk about the trunk in the car,
Yeah.
they say trunken
Trunken, yes, in
in the south.
yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're digressing here. But
Okay,
anyway,
sorry.
Kista in Norwegian means coffin, trunk, chest, and also storage boxes. So there's so many different kind of things that you can kind of say. And yeah, and we got some for the socks and the garter bands, but not coffins, obviously. We got little boxes and little chests for that. And then the other thing I was going to say is that it was hilarious. The moment Arne walked in, he was so excited. I was in another room. He came running in, screaming, "I won! I won! I won!" And he was just jumping up and down. And I'm like, wow, what happened? Did we actually win the lottery? Are we billionaires now? Or millionaires? And Arne's like, no, I won the auction. I won the auction.
But you win the auction, you get the email, and it says you won.
Well, but
You have to pay for it.
yeah, you know what,
But it wasn't much.
yeah, and then Arne kept saying the winner takes it all. It's a song by ABBA.
You said that.
No,
But-
you said the winner takes it all, and I said yeah, and the loser has to pay.
But I paid it myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like the winner and the loser.
Yeah,
But in the end, I win because I have the nice.
yeah, they're
I
beautiful.
have 2 nice boxes for these things, and I gave one of them to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
You picked.
I did, but I don't remember which one. I think I picked the
You
smallest
picked the
one.
big one. We're gonna show this.
Oh, did I
later.
pick the big one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you change your mind, it's fine because you have your birthday.
That's another
so
ABBA song.
If you
Change. Oh, that's Take a Chance on
that's
Me.
take a chance on me.
Anyway,
We're not sponsored by ABBA, just so that's clear.
no, we just
If
love
people
them.
think that we are sponsored now by ABBA because
No.
it's like I have a dream.
No, we just love ABBA a lot. Anyway, we're really digressing here. So, back to the stockings.
Okay,
A lot of people are probably going to be very curious to know the whole process because we talk about it a lot. And yes, we'll continue talking about it, but don't worry. We are documenting everything. We're filming. Eric is going to be coming here, and we plan to do a spectacular series on making our own folk costumes. And it's going to be an amazing show. We don't know when we're going to show it. We had to slow down. We started in January.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We started filming in Lillehammer when we went to get measured and all of that. Eric was there, but then we had to stop because of COVID-19, and we were planning on publishing this series in 2021. We may have to postpone to 2022, but don't worry. It's all being documented, so you will see knitting, you will see us doing cables, you'll see us washing the yarn, and then we're going to be, sewing trousers and making passepoil pockets on vests.
I haven't done that for like 20 years.
Yeah.
That will be an experience.
So it's all going to be documented, and you can look forward to that. However, we promise that in one episode soon, we will show you the boxes that Arne won in his auction.
Yeah.
And I say won loosely because you did have to pay. Although in your defense, you did save us a lot of money.
Money.
You saved us.
That's a new ABBA. Money.
Yeah, and you did save us a lot of money because
Money, yeah.
those boxes are hand painted, and those little chests, they cost a fortune. And by buying them at auction, you saved us. I don't know. I mean, maybe you paid 20% of what they would have cost if you bought them new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's good for something, I guess.
I know.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I can't stop doing. I have to put an ABBA song in everything right now. So
Yeah. So we're gonna
when
be.
all is said and done.
Yeah,
Not
when
yet.
all is said and done, we've been digressing a lot, and we are going to go past our 30 minutes if we don't hurry up. So, Arne,
Well, we have no one. No one is waiting for us.
Well, that's true.
Actually, ABBA have a song. I've been waiting
Yeah,
for you.
okay.
I've been waiting for you.
Enough.
Good.
We said 30 minutes, and 30 minutes it is. So we'll talk about this we've got this. We'll talk about this in the next episode, which will come next Wednesday. We'll talk about sewing the squares together. We'll give you a recap on all the squares that we've made.
Pile of
old squares.
Squares.
Yes.
I was mixing now. I was supposed to say laps, lapper.
Blocks. Oh, lapper in Norwegian. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do have a new one for you guys, and we're going to show that now before we leave. I'm going to talk a little bit about it because it is related to our trip into northern Norway. I'll do the honor and I'll hold it up, and then Arne will tell you what it is, what the name of this square is going to be, and the story behind it. So here we go.
Da, 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 da.
It's a work of art. I love this one.
It's a poppy. It's a poppy.
And it's not any poppy, Arne. It's the northern Norwegian double or triple poppy that we saw all over Lofoten when we were there.
Yeah, when we went to... Where was that?
Oh, everywhere in northern Norway.
Yeah, so it's a poppy. Let's say it's from the north of Norway.
Well, it is.
It is from the north of Norway.
So tell them about the beautiful poppy that we saw in northern Norway.
I had to, because that was not in the north of Norway. That was in Trøndelag.
Oh, that was in the north of Norway.
On the way to the north.
No, because we were in Indir.
That's where we saw it.
Yes, in the north of Norway. Yes, north of the.
We were like in Trøndelag.
Indir is actually north of the Arctic Circle. We went to the nursery.
You see, I was the only driving. I didn't look at the map.
Anyway.
And we went to this garden center, and there was some really nice flowers. But then we knew we were on the road for a while, so we couldn't buy it. And actually, we asked the guy in the store if he had seeds for that poppy, and he didn't have it, and he said it was in almost every garden in that area.
Yeah, so cool.
And it was really nice. So we made a knitted poppy.
So what are we going to call this one? Poppy. Shall we do? Yeah, but shall we say the Midnight Sun poppy or the Arctic poppy maybe, or just the poppy? What do you want to call it? Poppy.
I want to call it poppy.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. Keep it simple. It's the best way. You can get this on our blog. It's free. So just enjoy doing poppy. Just go to arnecarlos.com, select blog from the menu, and you will see the post. Nowadays, it's no longer quarantine knitting. It's called knit and sit. No, sit.
You do that all the time.
It's called Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos. And the title for this blog post will be the same. So Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos, poppy. Now I think it's time for the formalities.
And I think you should do it.
But you do it so well, especially when you turn on your notifications.
Okay, so let me try.
Okay, I can do it if you insist. Yeah.
There's a lot of mosquitoes around.
Yeah, northern hemisphere. When you come, to northern Europe, I'm sure Canada is the same. Mosquitoes are the size of helicopters here, and there's quite a few now. So it's time to go inside.
No mosquitoes were killed.
Yeah, no.
Because I missed them.
Oh, good. Anyway, we hoped you liked this episode, and we would appreciate it if you gave us feedback. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. We would really appreciate that. Please turn on your notifications. Your notifications if you're Arne, because then you will never miss an episode. Nowadays, we're posting on Wednesdays and on Sundays. But come December 1st, we may start posting every day because I haven't mentioned that we're doing a Christmas calendar. We'll leave that open and tell you another day, okay, about that calendar. So turn on your notifications and you'll never miss an episode.
And remember to No, that's what you said.
Yeah, we'd love to ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah,
you won't miss an episode.
No, turn on your notifications so that you will never miss an episode. And then we'd love it if you would join the happy and big family of Arne and Carlos people. We are so many of us, and it is a fun channel, so we would really love it if you would become a subscriber.
Yeah.
So now, all that is left to say is thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us, spending this lovely half an hour chatting together with us. We've had a great time, and we can't wait for next time that we sit down. Remember, even if it's called sit and knit for a bit. It doesn't mean you have to knit. You can crochet, you can embroider,
You
can
said that,
dye
didn't
yarn.
you?
I know, and I'm
Or-
just
or I
emphasizing
said
that
it,
again.
yeah.
You can do whatever you want. This is just, it's just that the title rhymed. And we thought it was quite catchy.
And let me do one last ABBA.
Okay,
So long.
farewell.
See you,
Oh,
honey.
how does that one go?
I can't sing on camera. It's from the album called ABBA. So long.
Okay.
It's like a little bit rock and roll. So long, see you, honey.
Oh, that one,
Can't
yeah.
buy me with your money.
Okay.
And then hasta mañana.
Okay, thank you so much for watching and see you again next week. And remember, just because we're posting on Wednesdays doesn't mean we're not posting on Sundays anymore. So we'll see you with regular tutorials on Sunday. Bye!
Hasta mañana. Hasta on Sunday.
I think that covers it.
Yeah. Too close? No, too close. Duh. What's see you on Sunday? What's that in Spanish?
Hasta el domingo.
Hasta domingo.
Bye.
Bye.